In this video, I will show you how to get Pro Cecile and some of its functionality. To get to Pro Cecile, you only have to open Google, type in the address bar pro.askcecile.com. It will take you to a landing page that looks like this. Because I'm already a subscriber, I'm going to change to incognito mode so that I can show you the full sign up process. You will see that this is the interface that you will see as soon as you go to the web address. In order to start using and testing Pro Cecile, you have to sign in. If you sign in, you will be taken to this page. You can continue with Google, or you can use your email address or password. But because you are not yet signed up, in order to benefit your 3 free questions in order to test Pro Cecile, you first have to sign up for free. You sign up for free by clicking that link there. It will open this page. Again, you can continue with Google. I'm not going to do it now because then it will take me to my own Google sign in. So you only need to type a name. Let me put in my name. Let me put in a fictitious email address. So I just put in a fictitious email address. You put in the email address you want to use to log on to Pro Cecile in future. You enter a password and you can choose any password. I'm going to enter a password and then you click start with 3 free searches. After your 3 free searches, the monthly subscription price that will be deducted automatically every month is 399 rands per month. But let's just go to the 3 free searches, which you will also get if you sign up for the first time. It now creates a user. You will see that the user was now created under the name I gave. It logged my the email address that I entered and also my password. So that is the only things that are stored on the secure server. You will see that there is a research function, a drafting function, and a history function. There is also a help button which you can click at any time. It is basically a user's manual. I'm going to click it now and show you what happens. It says how to use Cecile Pro. It gives you an overview, how to do research, how to do voice dictation, how to upload documents, single as well as multi, how to upload a quote bundle. It gives you research tips. It assists you with drafting in the drafting module. So by clicking on any of these links here will take you to the relevant part of this help guide. I'm just going to close it so that we can get back to Pro Cecile. You will see that there's a research, a drafting function, and also a history function. There will be no history for me now because it's the first time I now logged in as a user, as you will also log in for the first time. You will see that there's another button next to the question mark button which changes the display of the interface. This is light mode, or you can change it to dark mode. It is up to you. I prefer light mode. You will see that I have 3 searches left as I've signed up for the test version. I'm now going to show you the research function, because remember there are 3 free searches that can be used. Pro Cecile covers approximately 200 countries. By clicking the country selector, one can choose a country, and Pro Cecile is trained to go and look and research the law of the country that you've clicked. There is also different research modes. There is a standard research mode, then there is a deep analysis, it's a case law focus or a legislation focus. The standard research does not take very long, or it's shorter than, obviously, than deep research, because it uses other kinds of search criteria. So you can use standard search, deep research, case law focus. In that instance, case law will be drawn from the country you've chosen. In this case, it will be South Africa. And then in legislation focus, the search will focus on legislation. So let me just first show you the normal legal research query. Let's ask the system to look up prescription. So I'm going to type, what are the prescription periods in South Africa? It is not strictly necessary to type in South Africa because the system is already set to South Africa, but one can type it or one can leave it, but perhaps one feels more comfortable by typing in the country as well. Now the search query is there. Let me just correct prescription. And then one just clicks that button. It will now conduct a research and give an answer. Remember, this is then the first research. It will be deducted from the 3 free searches that every new sign up has. I'm now researching what are the prescription periods in South Africa. What now the system now does is it takes that query that you've entered. Remember, you can enter any natural language. So you ask a question as if you would ask a senior colleague or a colleague to do research. Now we will see, after a few seconds, the search result appeared. What happened is that query was taken, it was analyzed, it was turned into a legal query. It went to the South African sources because the country is South Africa. It researched the query, looked at the resources it could find, and then changed the query to the search, and the answer it changed back to this kind of answer. You will immediately see that there's a summary, there's a legal analysis. Now the summary is about the query that you've entered. So I've entered something about prescription, and it immediately refers me to the Prescription Act, which is the governing act in South Africa, which deals with prescription. It gives a legal analysis, and then it also refers to case law. You will see in this instance it refers to Botha versus Standard Bank of South Africa. Now this is the main advantage. Other open AI or commercial AI products are not grounded. They tend to hallucinate, and by using this system, it is specifically trained not to hallucinate, to go and look at the current sources and then to give feedback or to give an answer depending upon the resources that were found. This system also do not rely solely on training data, because it goes and it does a new research every time. So the latest information will be displayed if it is found. You will see that there is also key cases, and the reference to the cases are real cases. It is not hallucinated, and it was cases that was found. If one wants to check the answer, the output against the physical case, all that one has to do is to click there. That is now copied to your clipboard. You just go open a new Google search. Let me open a new Google search, a new tab, and you just paste it there, and you will see that the case that was retrieved by the system will appear there, and one just paste it in your Google search, press enter, and you will see that the reference was to Botha versus Standard Bank and in the answer. And by doing this, copying it, pasting it into Google, you are taken to softly to Botha versus Standard Bank. Let me just return to the interface. So you see that Botha versus Standard Bank appeared there. I copied that, pasted it into Google, and it took me to the case. The same will happen with any of the other links that are displayed here. Then it gives you the applicable legislation. Remember, this was a query about prescription, and it takes you to the Prescription Act. Then there is a section, practical application, which things that you should consider. When you are dealing with a question or an issue about prescription, it then gives ultimately a list of the sources consulted, and then a disclaimer. You have to check what answer is given, because ultimately it's your responsibility. Let me just go up to where you've put in the query and the search results appeared. You will now immediately see that you can copy this result to your clipboard and paste it somewhere where you want to. You can also share it by clicking there. You can share it by way of email or even WhatsApp. So the information and the answer that was retrieved will be printed in an email or will be printed in WhatsApp. You can export this answer as a Word document. It's called docx, but it is a Word document. So you press export docx, it will immediately open the legal analysis that you've done. It copied this there, the answer, and it now exported it, and you can save it wherever you want to save, or you can export an entire session. Now, a session works as follows. The first query I asked was the principles of prescription. It now knows, the system now knows the context. So you can now carry on asking questions there about prescription or anything you want to know further, and it will then give you an answer in context. When you are done with your research on any subject, in this instance it was prescription, you can export the session. So everything you asked, all the answers that you got from the system is then exported to a Word document, and you can save it somewhere and it's not lost. But besides saving your session, exporting your answer, or exporting your entire session with that button, you will also now have a history. And you will see that that is the question that I asked, the query, what are the prescription periods in South Africa? And it is saved. If I click there, it will automatically open it again, no matter what my present query is. So I can be busy with other queries or other work. I return to the app, I click history, and everything that I've researched is saved locally on your computer, on your system. You can also search your queries there. Let's say there were 100 queries. You could just enter what you're looking for, and you will be taken to that query. So that is now the first function of the research button. The research button has two functions included. The one is normal legal research, where you ask questions, you get answers, and you do research on the law. The second function of the research button or function is to do preparation. With this, one can upload documents. You can upload PDF documents and Word documents in combination. You can upload up to 20 documents at once, the total size 20 megabytes. So what happens is that all the documents that you upload are then taken, the text is extracted, and it is used as context. Then if you proceed on this documents, you want to ask questions, the context is there. Let me show you an example of, for instance, pleadings of a case that was finalized, which I extracted from case lines. Or let me do this. Let me show you physically what happens if one go to case lines. Case lines you are all familiar with. That is where court documents and pleadings and so on are uploaded. Let me go there. I will enter my case lines. I will insert. I will check a case that was finalized that I worked on to show you the functionality of Pro Cecile when it comes to this. You're all familiar, I think, about with this view. It is now in case lines, the online court system. You know that on the left is kind of an index of everything that's uploaded. In this case, like I said, it was finalized, so it's public record now. This was a case between a plaintiff in a road accident fund matter. Now let's say you want to analyze this case. Remember, you can, with case lines, go to download. You can then download a single document or the entire court bundle. Let's say I want to analyze this case, the particulars of claim and also the plea. I will go, in this case, I will go to the particulars of claim. Let me just find it here. There is the particulars of claim. In this matter, there was two particulars of claim, one the first particulars of claim, and then an amended particulars of claim. So obviously one would look at the amended particulars of claim. There it is, opened in case lines. Now I can proceed as follows. I download a document. It now goes, as you can see there, it goes to my downloads folder. It will also go to your downloads folder depending on how you set up case lines. So now I've got the amended particulars of claim in my downloads folder. Obviously, one would now want to see what the plea is, the defense to this particulars of claim, and let me look for the plea. There is a plea and a special plea. I open that. You will see now the defendant's plea appears in case lines. I do the same. I just download a document. Now you will see that in my downloads folder is an amended particulars of claim and the defendant's plea. Now while I have that, I just go back to Pro Cecile. Let me open it. Yes, there. Now, like I said, the first leg or part of the research is to do legal research. The other part is to do preparation on a case and to extract information from a case. This is all to do with preparation. So then I use, instead of typing a query there, I use upload document. You will see that in my downloads folder, I just downloaded the amended particulars of claim and the defendant's plea. So I can now upload to Pro Cecile both those documents. You will see that it's also possible to upload Word documents. So the formats that are accepted is PDF documents and Word documents. PDF documents takes longer to extract because PDFs are embedded. So now a special tool is used to extract all the text from the PDF files. I just click open. Oh, I forgot to start a new session. So you will see that now those documents that I've downloaded from Caselines is now uploaded to secure storage. What that means is that the information is now taken to a secure server. The information messages between you and the server are encrypted. So the first thing that happens is it now uploads those documents to the secure server. Let me just wait. We can wait for it for a moment, or I'll upload it again because I forgot, and that is actually important to start a new session. Let me do that. Let me close that, and then I go to upload document again, and I upload those two documents again. And now let's see what happens. You see it says uploading to secure storage. It takes a while to do this, let's say about 90 seconds to about 2 minutes to upload this, because it now goes, it extracts the PDF, it goes to secure storage. You will also see that because I asked the first research question, it now shows I'm on the free tier, that I have 2 free questions left. You will now see that it uploaded the 2 documents. It was 13 pages in total, 13,000 characters. 2 documents were uploaded. You can now replace those documents if you want to, or you can leave it just as it is. What the system now does, it tells you there are 2 free searches left, and now I just click Analyze Case. What this now does is it will extract all the text. It will analyze the case in terms of certain parameters. I have trained the system to use the same method that I have learned and used over many years to digest court pleadings and information, and then to apply the method to extract what is important. So the entire method that I've used over a number of years, I have taught into the system. You will see that this takes about 2 minutes. It depends on the number of documents I upload. The other day I uploaded an opposed motion. The documents consisted of 700 pages. It uploaded the 700 pages and within about 5 minutes the case was analyzed. Now, if one would take that same 700 pages, one would read it as always, with attention. You will make markings in it, you will make notes, you will flag it, and so on. It would take about 10 to 20 hours. A fast reader and a person that is trained, it might take 2, 3, or 4 hours. But this, you will see an answer will come within 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the number of pages that was uploaded. I say again that up to 1,000 pages can be uploaded. It will be extracted. It will use that then as the context of the information it must analyze. I also want to mention, in order to prevent hallucination, the system was trained to be constrained to only the information that was uploaded on the one hand, and then, as you will see, research can be done on the information that was uploaded. And there also the system is constrained not to hallucinate, but to go to the South African law, depending on, oh goodness, I forgot to choose South Africa, but let's see. There is the structured analysis. I uploaded 2 documents. It gives me the document type. Document 1 was the defendant's plea, what a defendant's plea is, and also you will see it also shows the court. Document 2 was the amended particulars of claim. It tells you what the document is and so forth. Then it sets out under the next section the parties involved. The plaintiff is mentioned, the defendant, the insured driver is mentioned, and even the name. The plaintiff's attorneys, the defendant's attorneys, the doctor's names are mentioned, and also the actuaries. In the next section, it sets out the key facts. Remember, this took about 2 to 3 minutes. The key facts is that a collision occurred on 10 September 2018. It sets out all the information that's necessary, the driver's name, the vehicle that was involved, etc., etc. It sets out what the plaintiff alleges. It sets out the plaintiff's injuries. All of this is extracted from the PDF documents that were downloaded from case lines. It sets out the RAF for serious injury report, and so forth, and also what is claimed. Then in the next section, it identifies legal issues. This is an RAF matter, so it identified negligence and causation, serious injury threshold, compliance with the statutory provisions in terms of the RAF. It also deals with the section 474A undertaking. All of this information it subtracted or got from the pleadings, the particulars of claim, amended particulars of claim, and plea that I've uploaded. Then it sets out the applicable legal principles in the next section, the Road Accident Fund Act, the law of delict, contribution negligence, serious injury report, and so forth and so forth. Then importantly, it sets out the grammar and typographical errors. This is important because pleadings must be accurate. And one will see that even these pleadings that were uploaded and ready supposedly for trial still contained many errors. Now, by using this system, Pro Cecile, one can obviously, I'll show you just now, draft pleadings, ensure that all the spelling errors are corrected, and also even inconsistencies. Look at error 1. The word division is misspelled as Cecile. Party names is wrong. A term is incorrect text as error 3, and so one can go through this. It is very important that this injury was, let's look at the gloving wound on the left ankle, but there is inconsistency because the particulars of claim refers to a mild concussive head injury, which was not the issue. So all of these things are taken out, and it is very important to interrogate these because it can be by purpose, for instance to delay matters, or it could be by mistake, but it's important to check for inconsistencies. There is also in the next heading a terminology and consistency review. In this case, the party's name, the plaintiff's name, was inconsistent. There is a problem with referring to the Regulation 3 of the Act. There is a problem with capitalization. There is a cross-reference error. There is pecuniary and non-pecuniary loss and inconsistency. And there's also a numbering issue. Now, from all the information that was extracted, the system suggests certain research topics. So, in this case, this suggested research topics was the serious injury threshold under the RAF Act, deem acceptance of the RAF form, contributing negligence, and so on. Now, if one wants to research that, one just copies that. You copy that. Remember, everything is now in context because I uploaded documents. You paste it there, and it will now run that query as a legal query and give you research search results based on the South African law. Let me just choose South Africa. I'm not going to run the query now because I want to show you something else. South Africa, there it is. Okay. Now, because this case and the information is uploaded, one now has the ability to query anything about this case. You will also see that there's another list of suggested research topics. By clicking research, it automatically completes that field. You will see what are the legal standards for determining serious injury in motor vehicle accident claims and how is the narrative test applied to override low hull person impairment percentages. This is an issue that comes up very frequently in the courts, and if I click research there, or it's already researching, but let me go back to show you how one can interrogate this case. Oh,